Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. I have this lock on the bench, and what I thought we'd do is we'd do a quick little video and talk about it. So this is a B and D roller door lock, and a lot of people have these and they generally, lose the key, or key goes missing, you've moved in, you don't have a key, blah blah blah. So this particular lock itself, it's on the bench, and let's say hypothetically we want a key. What you can do is you can go on the inside and you can find the number. This number right here would be the actual key number we can cut a key from. Sometimes they have a white sticker which is around here or around here or around here, but this one here has a number that's actually stamped in. So if I look real close there, I have 019384. Alright, so on our website you can go to keys, make keys from the number, general keys, and you'll see roller door. And you'll see make keys from roller door number, and it'll start with 19384. So in this particular example, we would just drop the zero. Drop the zero, enter in that, and then we can cut your key, post it out, and you should be good. Now let's go through another scenario. What happens when you get the key and you put it in and look, it won't go in? Oh, the key must be wrong or faulty. No, not necessarily. Key might be right, cut to that code on computer. There could be something else which is happening, which is there's actually a broken key inside the lock. One of the most common ways to lose a key or not have a key or not be able to use your roller door is that somebody's left a key in and then they've wound it all the way up and it's hit the top of the frame of the door and it's broken the key off. So let's go through and look at how to remove that. I've got some tweezers, they might help. And what else have we got lying around here? Alright, we've got little spike tool that can probably help us, and we might need like a little very fine type of wire tool. Alright, so to do this it might be easier to do two people. Get hubby on the outside or whatnot and you on the inside. So let me explain how this lock works. That might be the easiest way. You've got discs inside, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for example. Now your key goes in normally like this, okay, and when you pull your key out it allows it to come out. Now if we break the key here, which we've done, when you go and try and pull that key out you're going to be blocked by this wafer and this wafer, which is going to be extremely annoying. And besides, you don't have the big head of the key to pull it backwards. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to apply pressure on this part of the key and push it in that direction, simulating what you do with your fingers in your hand when you got the head of the key. Okay, we're going to do that. Plus, we're going to push this wafer out of the way, and we're going to push this disc out of the way and that disc out of the way. All right, so if I push this through the back, you'll see this little hole right about here. And if I push that through there, I'm not going to put pressure on it just yet. And then I go in there and I start pushing those wafers back out of the way, and I spray it with a bit of WD-40. I've now popped that key blank up to a stage that I can actually grab the head of it, wiggle it, and remove it. There we go. It's not as good as the magic show in Las Vegas, but it's still pretty good. There you go. There's the key. Now from that, you might be able to use two halves, put them together and take it to a good locksmith shop and they can cut you a key. If you can't do that, then you simply go on the inside, grab the number, go to our lock shop, go under keys, keys made from the number, general, you'll see roller door. It'll ask you for a code starting with 19. Now if you do have it starting with a 0 and it's got 019, just drop the 0 and put in 19384. We will then post you out a set of keys for this roller door, and then you will be happy, double happy. Now if you get your keys and you find it doesn't work, first of all spray your lock with some WD-40. You might not be able to see it, but in there's a lot of white corrosion, so just corrosion from the weather, from the water, whatever. WD-40 in this type of lock is okay. So a bit of WD-40 on there. On the inside here, you can also spray this with a bit of WD-40. See, these are moving parts, metal on metal, so it doesn't hurt a bit of WD-40 around here. Worst case scenario, you probably might even get some WD-40 on your hands, but that's not terrible. The next thing you want to do is when this lock actually wants to lock, these legs will actually protrude. Why is this one not moving? So even now it's a bit sluggy and old. So when these rods protrude on either side of the door, they go into a hole. Now if that hole is not aligned, it's not going to lock. So you might need to lift your roller door up or pull it down to allow your arms to lock into the locking frame where the hole is. To see where this is, it's as simple as grab a torch, look on where the roller door comes down and look at where the hole is, and see that this bar is going into the hole. Push the door forward, backwards, see if you can find the hole. If not, lift it up, lift it down. Sometimes you might even need to would you say, burr or route out or file out that hole or bend it a little bit more to allow these rods to go in there. By standard, if everything's working, you shouldn't need to do any of this, but this could be what you might be looking for. If you try and project these holes with your working key and they can't go anywhere, such as if they were going into the frame and it's not going through the hole and you're pushing harder and harder, you've got a chance of snapping your key. You're putting all that strength through your key, right? There's our key. Strength through the key onto the mechanisms, onto these rivets, onto these parts here, and they can break. As you can see here, this is a plastic part here, and as you can see, this plastic part actually comes through the lock and connects. So if you do put too much force on there, you can end up just breaking your lock. So if you're on the inside saying, damn you, work, lock, and it's not locking, better to find out why it's not locking, rather than sitting there and just simply force it and break your lock. Because if you break your lock, that creates another problem where you actually have to get the correct lock, mount the front plate, get somebody to hold the front plate, put the one on the inside, screw it on, and also sometimes these arms are also pot riveted on, so you might have to drill them off, re-pot rivet it on, and do all that sort of stuff. So to save yourself the hassle, make sure your locking arms are actually extending into the locking holes. That'd be good, so you're not putting extra force on these plastic parts, which can break. That's pretty much about it. You can lubricate this lock, it doesn't really do too much. There are different versions of this lock. They're all pretty much about the same thing. They do the same thing. They project two bars left and right, and sometimes even though the shape is different here, like you can have one that's got a depth here and a depth here, and you can have ones with long arm, short arm, or sweeping arms. A lot of the time they can be interchangeable. The easiest way to know what type of lock you've got and what type of lock you need is when you take your lock off the door, you'll be left with a big cutout, a big rectangular cutout in the sheet metal. So once you've got that, you know what that is, it'll allow you to know what type of lock you can put in there. Generally speaking, these face plates are all around about the same size. This lock itself, the arms on your roller door will be made to measure from this type of lock. So whichever lock you get, just check it's got the same distance when extended and when lowered. And if you're not sure, just pick the one that looks the same. So this one here, we call this long arm, short arm, right angle, because this is long arm, this is short arm, and they're right angle. Then you have long arm, short arm, which is sweeping. So it's not the right angle, it's just like a sweeping one. And then on the face plates, you've got one with a big rectangular cutout on one side, big rectangle, and then two holes. And then you've got one that's a rectangle on one side, rectangle on the other, with this in the center position with two holes. So yeah, generally speaking, there's about 3 or 4 of them, but once you get the same shape, you're generally, generally in action. So that's pretty much all you need to know about roller door locks. How to get a key made, how to remove a key, how to order a key, how to align the lock. That's pretty much about it. If you've got any questions, Google it. Yeah, roller doors are boring for me. I've done them for so long, so I've given you every tip I've got. If you want anything more than that, nah. But if you want to buy the locks, we've got them at our lock shop. If you want to buy the keys, we do sell them as well. So that might help you out. All right, thanks for watching.